So before Facebook deleted my page the other day for obviously annoying a few people for constantly speaking in support of Black Lives Matter and against police brutality, losing hundreds of millions of views and followers, so on and so forth, I was in the process of doing a video on this whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Now, first, before I get into this history lesson that I'm about to give you guys, I want to first say, Colin, if you are ever in New Orleans and you are single, I would love to go out to eat with you. Not because of your looks, because you are a very handsome man. Not because of your money. I make $45,000 a year as a teacher here in New Orleans, and money has never and will never impress me, but simply because you stand, or in this case, sit on principle, and that's a very rare quality to find in today's time. But for those of you who have been sitting under a rock, Colin Kaepernick is a football player for the 49ers. He's a quarterback, right? So, in support against, or for Black Lives Matter and against police brutality, he decided to sit during the National Anthem and refuse to show his respect, as people might say, and called him unpatriotic, and people like Tomi Lahren got in on him and everything like that, and of which she can take several seats. Matter of fact, she could take a whole stadium. But in any event, he's gotten a lot of flack for it, and I have a comment on that. Let me give you a history lesson. So the War of 1812 was between the United States and Britain. Now, besides the fact that this war actually started from American aggression, from Americans trying to take British lands, and we were getting our butt whipped. Now, mind you, this is the same war that cost us the White House, because the British actually burned down the White House. The British actually put a propaganda out there and let the slaves know that if you went to fight for the British, that they would free you and not return you to your owners and to your masters. So several thousand slaves escaped and fought for the British. Now, September 13th, 1814 was the Battle of Fort McHenry. This is what motivated Francis Scott Key to write the National Anthem the very next morning. The bombs bursting in there gave proof to the night that our flag was still there, so on and so forth. But what a lot of people do not know is that there was actually a third stanza to the Star-Spangled Banner. History must have forgotten it whenever it was adopted in 1931. But the third stanza actually reads, "No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave," actually celebrating the death of those slaves that left the United States and fought for the British in order to seek their freedom. Now, whether or not he knew that, I have absolutely no idea. If you didn't, now you know. But Colin, if you did, I am not only impressed, but I think that is absolutely genius. And not only would I love to go out to eat with you, but I will even pay for it. I'm so impressed by that, and you using your platform for such a good thing, regardless of the backlash from it, that I will gladly pay for the meal. I'll even buy you a beer instead of making you get water with lemon, and get you an appetizer with your entree. On my limited salary, I would gladly do that. And all of my friends on my friends list who shared Tomi Lahren's video basically calling him unpatriotic, as if that the national anthem is what our foundation of our country is based upon, when in actuality the only person exercising what this country was supposed to be founded on, even though people like him weren't even allowed to have these type of rights, was him exercising his right to freedom of speech and the right to peacefully protest. So if anybody was exercising his absolute right guaranteed by our Constitution and our founding, what our founding was supposed to be, it would be him. So Colin, again, if you're ever around, please look me up. I'm here. I'm a big fan of your work. So again, folks, I guess Facebook thought that because they deleted my page, that means that I'm going to be quiet. Newsflash, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So folks out there, if you have a voice, use it. And before you jump on the bandwagon with folks like Tomi Lahren, I suggest you do a little bit of research before you make yourself look like a fool. Teach your life. Mwah.